Welcome to my channel. Today I am going to deal with Factories Act 1948, and for this purpose, first of all, I'll deal with topic 3.1, preliminary manufacturing process, factory, occupier, the inspecting stuff. So this is Factories Act 1948. It was enacted in 23rd September 1948. So it was enacted in 23rd September. We had to remember it, September 23rd, 1948. It has total 11 chapters, 120 sections, and 3 schedules. Total 3 schedules, 11 chapters, and 120 sections. And first of all, we're going to read preliminary. The interpretation clause provides the definition, and chapter 2 deals with the provisions relating to inspecting stuff. Chapter 2 has 2 sections, section 7A and 7B. 7A deals with general duties of an occupier. 7B deals with general duties of manufacturers, etc. as regards articles and substances for use in factories. And today we have to deal with preliminary manufacturing process. We'll deal with the definition of manufacturing process, definition of factory, and definition of occupier, and lastly the inspecting stuff provision. First of all, the definition of manufacturing process. Before this, we have to see short title, extent, and commencement. Short title is, we know the Factories Act 1948 extends to the whole of India, that means including J&K as well, and come into force in first day of April 1949. We have to remember 23rd September 1948. It was enacted in 23rd September 1948. It is 48, and it came into force in first day of April Fool, that means 1949, and the year is 1949, and here it is 1948. Then the most important definition here is manufacturing, the definition of manufacturing process, which is provided under section 2K. Manufacturing process means any process for manufacturing process. Okay, this is process, so it is a kind of process for what? Making, altering, repairing, ornamenting, finishing, packing, oiling, washing, cleaning, breaking up, demolishing, or otherwise treating or adapting any article or substance with a view to its use, sale, transfer, delivery, or disposal. So here a lot of things are used here. For example, making, first of all, to make something. Then altering, so altering is also included under manufacturing process. Then repairing, making, altering, repairing, MAR, MAR. Ornamenting, finishing, packing, OFP, MAR of oiling, washing, cleaning, OWC, oiling, washing, cleaning, breaking up, demolishing, or otherwise treating or adapting any article or substances with a view to its use. What is the purpose of making, altering, repairing, ornamenting, or all those? To use it, or to sell it, or to transfer it, or for the purpose of delivering or disposing. Use, sale, transfer, delivering, or delivery or disposal. Or 2. Pumping oil, water, sewage, or any other substance. Pumping oil, water, sewage. Oil, water, sewage. Pumping oil, water, sewage, or any other substance. Or 2. Generating, transforming, or transmitting power. Generating power, transforming power, transmitting power. 3 words are used here. GTT, generating, transforming, transmitting power. Then 4. Composing types for printing. Composing types for printing. Printing by letterpress. Lithography is also included here. Then photogravure or other similar process, or bookbinding is also included. So composing types for printing, printing by letterpress, lithography, photogravure or other similar process, or book building. Or 5. Constructing, reconstructing, repairing, refitting, finishing, or breaking up ships or vessels. Ships and vessels. What you will do with ships and vessels? First of all, they will construct, then reconstruct, for the second time, reconstruct, then repair, Okay, repair, we know the meaning of repair. Then refitting, finishing, then refitting, and then finish, and then breaking up ships or vessels. Then constructing, reconstructing, repairing, refitting, finishing, or breaking up ships or vessels. And 6, preserving or storing any article in cold storage. Storing is also included in manufacturing process. So this is the definition of manufacturing process, section 2K, a very complicated definition. So have to remember all those words. Then comes the definition of factory. M. Factory means any premises, including precinct thereof. That means it includes not only the building but the land also, precinct and premises. Then M, Roman 1, whereon 10 or more workers, 10 plus, workers are working or were working or were working on any day of the preceding 12 months. So they are working for 12 months, for a year means, in any part of which a manufacturing process is being carried on, in any part of the factory, that means, of which a manufacturing process is being carried on, where the manufacturing process is important element here. In this factory, the manufacturing process is being carried on and with the aid of power, and is ordinarily so carried on. And in this case, 10 plus 10 or more workers are working or were working in any day after preceding 12 months. So this means this is the first thing. Second is wherein 20 or more workers are working or were working or any day after preceding 12 months. Then 20 plus workers are also working for any 12 months in any part of which a manufacturing process, again it's important, manufacturing process is being carried on with the aid of power and is ordinarily so carried on. So there may be 10 plus workers, 10 or more workers, or 20 or more workers, but they must work for a 12 months period, preceding 12 months in any factory, and the factory must be of such a nature when the manufacturing process is carried on, and we have read the definition of manufacturing process in section 2K of the Act. And it includes premises, including precincts thereof, not only the house but also the entire land area. Then but does not include a mine. So mine is not included, subject to the operations of Mines Act 1952, 35 of 1952, because mines are subject to the operations of Mines Act, which is already enacted 1952, 35 of 1952, or a mobile unit belonging to the armed forces of the Union, and any unit, mobile unit belonging to the armed forces of the Union, not the armed forces of the Union, a railway running shed or a hotel, or a railway running shed or a hotel or a restaurant or eating place, these things are excluded from the definition of factory. So what is excluded? These things are included. And this part, the things which are excluded from the definition of factories are, first of all, mine, which is subject to the operations of Mines Act 1952, 35 of 1952. Second, any mobile unit of the armed forces of the Union. Third, a railway running shed. Fourth, a hotel, a restaurant, an eating place. These are excluded. That means hotel, restaurant, or eating place, or these things are not factories. Then comes explanation. For computing the number of workers for the purpose of this clause, all the workers in different groups and release. The workers may be different groups. And release in a day shall be taken into account, and all the workers shall be taken into account. Explanation 2. For the purpose of this clause, the mere fact that an electronic data processing unit or a computer unit is installed in any premises or part thereof, it may be in any premises or part thereof, shall not be construed to make it a factory. No manufacturing process is being carried on in such premises or part thereof. That means what is the most important material thing here is, in that factory there must be some kind of manufacturing process, altering, repairing, constructing, something like this, which we have already read. So manufacturing process is essential ingredient for a factory. As we can see here, number of workers are provided 10 or more. Here also 20 or more. 12 months period is another essential. Then manufacturing process is the most important thing. making, altering, repairing, ornamenting. These works must be carried on in the factories in order to be a factory. Pumping oil, water, sewage, or any other substances, generating, transforming, transmitting powers, constructing, reconstructing, repairing, all those things. Then comes the definition of occupier. Occupier of a factory means the person who has ultimate control over the affairs of the factory. Now, occupier means it is a person, first thing, who has the ultimate control, means the full control over the affairs of the factory, means management of the factory. This is the person occupier, provided that 1. In the case of a farm or other association of individuals, it may be farm or other association of individuals, any one of the individual partners or members thereof shall be deemed to be the occupier. So who shall be occupier in the case of farm or any other association of individuals? The individual partner, the partner himself or themselves or the members thereof shall be deemed to be the occupier. 2. In the case of a company, as we know, company is different from partnership firm. So in the case of a company, any one of the directors are there in company, shall be deemed to be occupiers. So directors, not shareholders, shall be deemed to be the occupier. Then 3. In the case of a factory owned or controlled by the central government, if it is in case of central government or the state government or any local authority or any persons appointed to manage the affairs of the factory by the central government, manage word is used here. The state government or the local authority, as the case may be, shall be deemed to be the occupier. So in the case of a factory under state government, central government, local authority, the person who shall be the occupier, the person who is appointed to manage, appointed by the state government, he may be appointed by the state government, central government, or any other local authority to manage. What is the purpose of appointment? To manage the affairs of the company. So that person shall be the occupier. That means the manager shall be the occupier in case of if the factory is owned or controlled by the government. So in case of a firm, partners, members, company, directors, factory of government, the person who is appointed to manage the affairs of the factory. Then provided further that in the case of a ship which is being repaired or on which maintenance work is being carried out in a dry dock which is available for hire, the owner of the dock shall be deemed to be the occupier. In case of a ship, okay, which is being repaired, they're repairing the ship, or on which maintenance work is being carried out, maintenance of the ship in a dry dock which is available for hire, the owner of the dock shall be deemed to be the occupier for the purpose of any matter provided for by or under. For the kinds of matters are given here, section 6, 7, 7A, 7B, and section 11 of, and or section 12, 6, 7, 7A, 7B, 11 and 12. Section 17, so far as it relates to providing and maintenance of sufficient and suitable lighting in or around the dock, or see section 18, 19, 42, 46, 47 and 49 in relations to the workers employed on just repair or maintenance. So in relation to these sections, the owner of the dock shall be deemed to be the occupier. Then comes subsection 2. The owner of ship or his agent or master, the owner of what? Ship, or the agent of the owner or master or other office in charge of the ship, or any person who contracts such as owner, agent or master or other officer in charge to carry out the repair or maintenance work shall be deemed to be the occupier for the purpose of any matter provided for by or under section 13, 14, 16, 17, save is otherwise provided in this provision, or chapter 4 except section 27 or section 43, 44, 45, then chapter 6, 7, 8, 9 or section 108, 109, 110 in relation to A, the workers employed directly by him or by or through any agency, and B, the machinery, plant or premises in use for the purpose of carrying out just repair or maintenance work by just owner, agent, master or other officers in charge of person. So that means this owner, agent, master or other officers in charge of chores or any other person who has relations with those owner, agent, master or other officers in charge shall be deemed to be the occupier. Then comes the inspecting staff. 7A, 7B, general duties of the occupier, then general duties of whom? Manufacturers, etc. Here it is occupier, here it is manufacturers, etc. as regards articles and substances for use in factories. General duties of the occupier, Section 7, capital A. Section 7, capital A, subsection 1. Every occupier shall ensure, so far as it reasonably practicable, the health, safety, and welfare of all workers where they are at work in the factory. What the occupier shall do? We have read the definition of occupier, who has ultimate control, the person who has ultimate control over the affairs of the factory. So what is the duty of that person? The duty is that, as so far as reasonably practicable, he must ensure the health, safety, and welfare of the workers, of all workers, while they are at work in the factory, because Factories Act 1948 generally enacted for the purpose of welfare of the workers working in the factories. So that's why the health, safety, and welfare of the workers is most important thing under this act, and the provisions are also made for this purpose. So it is up to the occupier to ensure those things as much as reasonably practicable and possible for him. Then comes Section 7A, subsection 2. Without prejudice to the generality of the provisions of subsection 1, because subsection 1 is a general provision, the matters to which such duty extends shall include: A. What are those matters? The provisions and maintenance of plant and system of work in factory that are safe and without risk to health. What they will do? Provisions and maintenance of plant and systems of works in factory that are safe and without risk to health. Then comes B. The arrangements in the factory for ensuring safety and absence of risk to health in connection with the use, handling, storage, and transfer of articles and substances. So they have to arrange for the purpose of ensuring safety of the workers, and also for the purpose of absence of reducing the risk to health of the workers. They have to, in connection to use, handling, storage, and transfer of articles and substances, they have to make arrangements. Then comes C, the provision of just information, instruction, training, and supervision. So you have to give the workers information regarding the risks in just kind of activities. Then they have to instruct them. Training, supervision is important. Somebody have to supervise them as are necessary to ensure the health and safety of all workers at work. So this is the duty of the occupier. Then comes D, the maintenance of all places of work in the factory in a condition, all places of work in the factory in a condition that is safe and without risks to health, and the provisions and maintenance of such means of access to and ingress from such place as are safe and without such risks. So then comes the provision, maintenance, and monitoring of just working environment. Provision, maintenance, as well as monitoring word is important here. Monitoring of such working environment in factory for the workers that is safe without risks to health and adequate as regards facilities and arrangements for the welfare. So mainly all the things are saying about the safety of the workers, health, including health and the risks of health and ensuring safety. These things are all. So mainly what? Health and safety, information, instruction, training, and supervision. This is important as it necessary to ensure health and safety. Again, the object is health and safety, but what they have to do? Information, instruction, training, and supervision. Then comes maintenance of all places of work factory in conditions that are safe and without risks. Then monitoring of just working environment in the factory for workers that is safe without risks to health and adequate as regards facilities and arrangement for their welfare at work. These lines are important. Rest the other the entire provision is saying about safety and health. Section 7A, subsection 3 provides that, except in such cases as may be prescribed, every occupier shall prepare and as often as may be appropriate, revise a written statement of his general policy. What the occupier will do? It will prepare, or as often as it may be appropriate, revise. Not only prepare, but after that he can revise it as well. But what he will prepare? A written statement, in written form of his general policy. With respect to what kind of policy? He will make a policy, prepare a policy, but in respect to what? With respect to the health and safety of the workers. health and safety of our workers at work, and the organization and arrangements for the time being in force for carrying out that policy. Not only the policy, so first of all we have to make a policy. The purpose of policy is health and safety of the workers. Not only this, but he have to write in policy what are the organizations and arrangements which he had made for implementing that purpose, and to bring the statement and any revision thereof to the notice of the workers in such manner as may be prescribed. So the workers must have notice of it, and it is up to the occupier or duty of the occupier to bring those provisions, written statements to the notice of the workers. Then comes section 7b, general duties of manufacturers, etc. as regards articles and substances for use in factories. So we have read the general duties of occupier under section 7 subsection A. Now we're going to read the general duties of manufacturers, etc. So section 7 subsection 1 provides that every person who designs, manufactures, imports or supplies any article for use in the factory shall. Who are those persons? The persons who designs, then manufactures, then imports, and then supplies any article for use in a factory shall A. ensure so far as is reasonably practicable that the article is so designed and constructed as to be safe and without risk to the health of the workers when properly used. So it is up to the duty of the manufacturers as well that the articles or the things which are for the which they are supplying for the use of the workers must be of such a nature that it ensures safety of the workers. B. Carry out or arrange for carrying out of such test and examination as may be considered necessary for the effective implementations of the provisions of the clause A. Now here in clause B, it is provided, it is saying about the implementation, effective implementations of those provisions, safety measures. Then for this purpose they can carry out any kind of test and examinations as well. Then comes clause C. So take such steps as may be necessary to ensure that adequate information will be available what? In connection with use of the article in any factory. So there must be some kind of information, guidance or something like this, which will say that how the articles or things should be used in a factory, safety measures. B. About the use for which it is designed and tested. The use should also be written here, use for the purpose of design and tested. And 3. About any conditions necessary to ensure that the when put to such use will be safe and without risk to the health of the workers. Provided that where an article is designed or manufactured outside India, it shall be obligatory on the part of the importer who imports it. It is up to the obligation of the importer to see that the article conforms to the same standard if such article is manufactured in India. So the standards must be same as it is manufactured in India, even though it may be manufactured outside India. And B. If the standards adopted in the country outside for the manufacture of such article is above the standards adopted in India, above means above the standard adopted in India, that the article conforms to such standard. So it must be in same standard or of same standard as it is manufactured in India, or it may be above such standard as well. Then comes subsection 2. Every person who undertakes to design or manufacture any article for use in any factory may carry out or arrange. Every person, okay, it is duty of every person who undertakes to design or manufactures. So who have to design or manufacture any article for use in any factory may carry out or arrange for the carrying out of necessary research with view to the discovery, and so as far as possible, as far as is reasonably practicable, the elimination or minimization of any risks. They can eliminate or minimize any risks to the health or safety of the workers to which the design or article may give rise. So that means the manufacturers or designers, it is the obligation of the manufacturers or designers to do research and to eliminate and minimize any kind of risks as to the health and safety of the workers. duty of the manufacturers and designer. Every person who undertakes to design and manufactures. So we have read the duties of the occupier, then duties of the manufacturers, and then duty of the persons who import such articles, supplies such imports and suppliers. Then comes subsection 3. Nothing contained in subsection 1 and 2 shall be construed to require a person to repeat the testing, examination, or research which has been carried on otherwise done by him or at his instances, insofar as it is reasonable for him to rely on such results thereof for the purpose of these the said subsections. So the person who are manufacturers, designers, or the person who imports those kind of things, supplies it, it is not necessary for them to repeat the testing, examination, or research, to test it again, examine it again, and do research again, because if it appears to him that it is reasonable, the previous research, examination, testing is reasonable, and it ensures the safety of the workers, then for a second time they don't need to carry on such examination, test, or research. Then comes section 4. Any duty imposed on any person by subsection 1 and 2 shall extend only to things done in the course of business carried on by him and to matters within his control. Any duty imposed on any person under subsection 1 and 2 shall extend only to those things, only to things done in the course of business only, carried on him by and matters within his control. It should not be something beyond the control of this person, because accident occurs beyond, sometimes accident occurs beyond, which may be sometimes beyond the control of the person or beyond the control of human agency. So they have to take reasonable care, but it only relates to care relates to the course of business only, not in someone's personal capacity. Then comes subsection 5. Where a person designs, manufactures, imports, and supplies an article on the basis of a written undertaking by the user of such article to take the steps specified in such undertaking to ensure, so as far as it is reasonably practicable, that the article will be safe and without risk to the health of the workers when properly used. The undertaking shall have the effect of relieving the person designing, manufacturing, importing, or supplying the article from the duty imposed by clause A of subsection 1 to such extent as is reasonable, having regard to the terms of the undertaking. And if the person who himself says that, himself gives writes something, or gives written undertakings by the user of such article, if the user himself sends some written undertaking for the safety of those articles, and if the manufacturers or importing or supplying, manufacturing, the designers or manufacturers follows the same, then this shall be relieved or exempted from the duty provided under clause A of subsection 1. Then comes subsection 6. For the purpose of this section, an article is not to be regarded as property used if it is used without regard to any information or advice relating to its use, which has been made available by the person who has designed, manufactured, imported, or supplied. It means it should not be regarded as properly used if it is used without regard, and when it disregard to any information or advice relating to its use, which has been made available by the person who is designer, which have been made available by the designers, manufacturers, importer, and supplier, but the user who uses it, uses it without regard to such information, then it shall not be regarded as properly used. It shall not be regarded as properly used. That means it is improperly used. Then explanation. For the purpose of this section, articles will include plant and machinery as well. Article includes plant and machinery explanation. It's very important. Last one is important. You can give reference of this in exam. Articles include plant and machinery. So we have dealt with 3.1 except case laws. Then comes case law. The first one is as regard to the definition of manufacturing process. Here the title of the case is State of Bombay versus Ali Sahab Qasim Tamboli. State of Bombay. Okay, so this is the State of Bombay versus the name of the defendant. Ali. First word is Ali Sahib Qasim Tamboli. 4 words are used here. 4 words. Ali Sahib Qasim Tamboli. ASKT. Ali Saheb Kasib Tamboli that BD making is a manufacturing process. What was held in this case? BD, BIDI. BD making is a manufacturing process, and the process of transforming and transmitting electrical energy are also manufacturing process. Then comes another case which is important, more important than this case. Ardeshir versus Bombay State. Ardeshir, ARDESHIR. Ardeshir versus Bombay State. So the citation is AIR 1962 SC 29. ARDESHI, Ardeshir versus Bombay State, AIR 1962. This is the case of 1962 and SC 29. Ardeshir versus State of Bombay. So there is what is held in this case. Salt was manufactured from sea. Salt was manufactured from seawater by applying different process, which shows that it is due to the human agency. So humans are involved in doing so, aided by natural forces. That she is the nature, so aided by natural forces. That salt is extracted from seawater. The process carried out in the salt works come within the definition of manufacturing process. Why? In section 2K, inasmuch as salt can be said to have been manufactured from seawater by process of treatment and adaptation of seawater into salt, because they have used the seawater seawater for the purpose of manufacturing salt. So this is the process of treatment and adaptation of seawater into salt. That's why it is, even though human agency and natural forces are aided in the process, though it is held to be a manufacturing process. So Ardeshir versus Bombay State, AIR 1962 SC 29. And another interesting things in the case of KVV Sharma, conversion of film into a finished product was also held to be a manufacturing process. And similarly, this is another case which is important. New Taj Mahal Cafe Ltd. So this is the name of the cafe, New Taj Mahal Cafe Ltd, Mangalore versus Inspector of Factories, Mangalore. This is the place. And in this place, the New Taj Mahal Cafe is also there, New Taj Mahal Cafe, and the inspector of the factories are also involved of the same area, Mangalore. The citation is AIR 1956 ILLJ 273. AIR 1956 I think Roman 1, LLJ 273. What was held in this case? New Taj Mahal Cafe Ltd versus Mangalore, Entity Mangalore versus Inspector of Factories, Mangalore, AIR 1956 1 LL. What was the last? 273. 7 and 3 and 2. In this case, preparation of foodstuff. So they have prepared kind of foodstuff, another eatable in the kitchen of a restaurant. And use of a refrigerator is also used here. Use of a refrigerator for treating or adapting any article with a view to its sale were also held to be manufacturing process. Means the kitchen and the process of making food is also held to be a manufacturing process. That means preparation of foodstuffs and other eatable in the kitchen of a restaurant, and use of refrigerator for treating or adapting any article with a view to its sale were also held to be manufacturing process. Other case laws are also there. For this case laws, I'll make another video because it's not possible to cover in this video. So please do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Thanks for watching.